Get into the list.
List time. Like pull that
List
bad boy up.
time.
So it's top 5 remakes. And we kind of changed how we were doing it throughout me asking, or between us texting each other.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh shit, I didn't even know this movie was a remake or whatever." So I can't include it. And I'm like, yeah, I wasn't really doing it that way. I was just kind of like the quality of the remake, like not the quality comparatively. But because you did that, I kind of changed things around a little bit.
Well, the thing is too is like because how are we going to say this is our favorite remake when we haven't seen the original? Like, what if we watch the original and we think it's better? You know?
I mean, for me, I'm familiar with all of like the stuff that's on here. Like very, very familiar at the very least.
No, I got you, and it was a little harder for me because, first of all, I was a little overwhelmed because I thought this list was going to be easy, and it was. It was an easier list than most, but I was like, damn, I didn't know half these films were remakes. I honestly didn't.
Really. And
I feel like a lot of websites and a lot of sources that I looked up in preparation for this list were a little loose with the term remake. In all honesty.
Probably.
To be real with you, but I still got a good list. I got 14 honorable mentions. So
holy shit, you have way more than me.
Well, my honorable mentions are a lot of the ones where I haven't seen the original,
5, 6,
or I didn't.
7.
Damn.
So you do 2, I do 1, I guess.
All right. Well, but like a lot of my honorable mentions are ones I didn't realize were remakes, so I felt the need to put them on the list, but not my main list.
Okay.
And ones where I haven't seen the original.
Okay, so I'm going to be honest. I actually did see, for most of these I've actually seen the original as well.
Okay.
So this will be interesting.
All right, so I do 2, you do 1. Scarface. I really like the original Scarface. I honestly think it's actually kind of better than the original, but the remake, but the remake is still really good. As a matter of fact, my mom was watching it today.
Really?
Yeah, on TV.
Sweet.
Yeah, and then she started watching another show, and then the person in that show was watching Scarface. I'm not even joking. It was weird.
Yeah?
Yeah. So it's Brian De Palma's film. It's become like a staple of Americana. Say hello to my little friend, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
very quotable.
Very quotable. Very great. And I haven't seen the original in like for years. Years, dude. James Cagney was in it, right? Yeah.
I believe so.
Howard Hughes produced it.
God, that just makes sense, though.
Yeah,
James Cagney was in every
They shot like real bullets at him for that movie.
Oh, really?
Correct. Yeah, it's insane. Back in the day. They didn't have special effects. What are you going to do?
He's like the Tom Cruise of back then.
Yeah, right. The next one is the 2018 A Star Is Born.
Ooh! Okay. You can do that if you want.
Yeah, it's great. I love that one. But I haven't seen the original, so I that's why it's an honorable mention.
Gotcha. Okay, so actually, when we were doing this, and you were like, I haven't seen these, I didn't even know that they were remakes, and then I was like, okay, I'll change it up a little bit, because this was actually my number 1, and then I was like, yeah, I guess it makes sense not to have this as number 1, even though it's like my favorite movie on the list.
The Thing.
No, it's The Departed.
Oh, okay.
The Departed is one of my favorite cat and mouse stories with an additional cat and mouse layer on top of it. The dialogue is hilarious and playful. Pacing never lets this 2.5-hour movie feel dull. Even if Infernal Affairs was superior, my history with this movie could make it impossible to see it clearly. I mean, like, no, the only reason that one isn't my number 1, even though my number 1, I didn't see the original. The reason I did it this way is because I really don't know that much about Infernal Affairs. That's completely
right.
Like
the only reason I know about that film is because I know it's the original. The Departed was based on it.
That's pretty much what I know. So that's the reason for that. But I have reasons. So
no, I get you.
This is actually going to be kind of informative for like people that listen, because it's like, oh shit, I didn't know that was a remake.
That's true. And also, you didn't really need to adjust your list, because I do have some. Well, mostly like 1 or 2 on my list that I didn't see the original for. But, whatever. My next one is The Thing. I haven't seen The Thing all the way through, but I know like almost everything that happens, and I've never seen It Came From Outer Space. So.
Okay. And you got another one, right?
And Dracula. Francis Ford Coppola's
Bram
Dracula.
Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah, Bram Stoker's Dracula. I think it's a pretty good adaptation, in all honesty. It's more of an adaptation than a remake. Because it's definitely not trying to remake Bela Lugosi's Dracula.
Yeah.
But I think Dracula's like Bela Lugosi, because, I love Universal stuff. I love that classic Universal horror. I might like Bela Lugosi's better if I saw it. I haven't seen it, actually.
I've seen both, and I'll be honest, I really don't like the Bram Stoker's version.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Was not a fan.
I thought it was okay. I'm like, you know what? It's weird. It's very weird, but
Yeah. So this one, you're probably gonna be like, "Whoa, I'm surprised this is not on your top 5." But actually, I had to think about it a little bit.
All right.
And this one is The Fly, because the first one was your typical Vincent Price, which in my opinion operates like a small scale Hitchcock movie. It had sort of a Beauty and the Beast like type appeal to it, and Cronenberg's take was more like a Frankenstein tale. Both had haunting endings for their time, but many more people think that the Price one has like entered corny territory.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I kind of like them kind of similarly, like not that far off, as opposed to my number 5, which bounced The Fly off of.
Oh damn.
So yeah.
Okay, I got 2, but they're kind of one and then another one. Just to let you know.
Okay.
So I got King Kong / Kong Skull Island.
Okay.
King Kong, the Peter Jackson, is definitely much more of a remake. Kong Skull Island is not necessarily a remake. It's more of just a different
using
interpretation.
The same property.
Yeah, you're using the same property. I actually really like Kong Skull Island. I think the style of that is really cool, and I liked the idea of doing something different with the character. But as a straight remake goes, King Kong's not that bad. You know? I love the original. Nothing tops the original, though, which is the thing.
Yeah.
That's why it's an honorable mention.
Long. That movie,
It's over 3 hours, yeah. But insane. You know what? It doesn't top the original King Kong, but it's still a worthy remake. It's not one you just watch and you're like, oh, this is the worst remake I've ever seen. No, it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
They spent way too much time on that boat, though, I will say.
All right.
I'm sorry. And then Godzilla. Godzilla.
Yeah, I was going to say...
2014. 2014 Godzilla.
Cool. For me, next, True Grit. Dude, you're going to...
Oh, you didn't...
What? I haven't seen the original, but this remake's quietness probably makes for a different viewing experience. I love the acting in this, and the patience of the Coens. They were able to build like an emotionally satisfying conclusion. I feel like it's a little bit different. I mean, you've seen both, right?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, so...
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Very different? Okay.
We'll get into that later.
Okay.
This one I wasn't sure to add because technically it's a remake, but the original movie was more of a spoof of the source material it's based off of, and that's Casino Royale.
Okay, yeah.
Technically it's a remake, but it's not even like a whatever, you know. And now speaking of Peter Sellers, this one's going to be controversial, but I actually kind of like the Pink Panther remake. I'm going to be real with you.
I haven't seen it.
I actually kind of like it. I know it got a huge bad rap, but I think it really captured the spirit of Peter Sellers. I love the Peter Sellers movies, the Pink Panther movies. I have a whole box set of them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I used to watch them with my dad all the time. And the remake, it doesn't touch Peter Sellers, but it's not a bad remake.
That's the one with Stephen Martin, right?
Steve Martin, yeah.
Steve Martin.
But it's not necessarily a bad remake. I even put, like... Look, I'll even show you. I'll cover the list. Look, I put Pink Panther? ? Because I have a feeling that if I watch it again, I might not like it.
Yeah.
It might not hold up. But I remember thinking, you know what? This is a good remake of the Peter Sellers type of slapsticky, quirky comedy.
There's like two in particular, or like one, I guess, in particular, where I'm like, if I watched it again, I probably wouldn't like it. And we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
Was that 2?
Yep, that was 2.
Okay, so my next one is Ocean's 11. It boasts a good time and a stellar ensemble cast. We desperately needed a flashy heist movie for the new generation, so this remake just made sense. I haven't seen the original.
Okay. My next one is 3:10 to Yuma.
Okay.
An amazing Western. I actually haven't seen the original, though. But the remake is great. And then Fistful of Dollars. I totally forgot. Yeah, Yo Jimbo. Because I even texted you. I'm like, Fistful of Dollars? What the fuck? That's a remake?
Yeah, and then I told you, and you're like,
Jimbo.
oh, that's
right. I remember hearing that. It stands so well on its own, I forget. But yeah, how can you not put Fistful of Dollars? So, there you go.
This is the one. War of the Worlds.
Really?
I actually like that movie. Like,
okay.
I liked it when I was a kid, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched it since it first came out.
Yeah.
But I imagine it could be at least entertaining. Because for me, kind of a big improvement from the original, which features UFOs on strings traveling at 0.02 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It definitely didn't hold up to me. I watched that movie actually like 5 years ago.
Yeah, no,
so I was kind of into movies at that time, and I was like, even still, like, this really isn't that great.
Sci-fi does not hold up when it comes to Golden Age films.
Yeah.
Or Silver Age films.
There's actually some, I'll actually bring them up later because I have them on here, but there's a couple of them that actually kind of do.
With War of the Worlds, the remake for me, first of all, I don't hate it. I'll say that right off the bat. I think it captures the sense of like dread and paranoia really well.
That's what got me when I was a kid.
It's freaky.
I guess I was 13
and
or something.
It is kind of terrifying. But there are some parts where I'm like, with a couple character moments and a couple character decisions where I'm like,
I've completely erased that from my mind, so if I saw it, I'd probably think, oh, this sucks. Yeah, I do also remember the ending was pretty bad, too. Like, pretty dumb.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it. I remember what defeats the aliens.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like the kind of like, that's kind of what it would be like, the national like disaster, and everyone's sort of like fighting for a car. Like you see a car and you're like, that's like.
I just didn't think I had seen too many like apocalypse movies at that time. Yeah. And I thought they were really cool.
No, it captured dread really well, that's for sure. My next two is, this one's not, it is a remake, but it's more of just a more accurate adaptation of its source material, and that's Dread.
That's why I have that on here too, my honorable mentions.
Oh, nice.
Fucking hilarious, dude. Yeah. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's great. And then The Departed.
Okay. So I guess you're gonna have a bunch more.
Yes.
Because I have Dawn of the Dead.
I've never seen Dawn of the Dead all the way
through. To me, it's a solid survival horror movie. It's different though. It definitely functions as a different movie. It's like a different, because it's kind of like a sandbox horror in the original. You have like all these like things that you could like fight them with, and it was kind of like in a kind of a goofy way. Mm-hmm. You know, and they're in a mall, so they can literally just like find anything and use that to like fuck with them and stuff like that. So it's basically just that they're trying to entertain themselves as well as like surviving. Yeah, it's a completely different movie. Mm-hmm. So I do like the Zack Snyder one though.
Yeah. All right. Cool. My next one is It. Okay. You know, we just talked about it.
Yep.
And then I just name off the rest, huh?
Sure, go for it.
Magnificent Seven.
Yep.
2017. The remake of the remake.
Okay, yeah.
Son of a Woman. Didn't even know that was a remake, but I love that film. Woman in Black. Also really like that horror film. Didn't know that was a remake. And then Ben-Hur. Not the 2016 version, whatever that was. 2015 version. The one with Charlton Heston.
Okay.
No, that new Ben-Hur was
got me
garbage.
Spooked over here.
No, come on. When you say Ben-Hur,
come on, bro.
When you say Ben-Hur,
no, I have too much faith in you to think that.
Yeah, come on, dude, come on. No, when did that Ben-Hur come out? Let's see, 59.
Oh.
So we have the 1959 remake of Ben-Hur, which was a remake of I think the 1925 version of Ben-Hur. Mm-hmm. Great, but I've never seen the 25 version.
Yeah. So who wants to go first?
It's up to you.
Let me go first. I feel like I went first in a minute.
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead.
So the one that booted off the fly, and this just makes sense, is Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Never seen it, but I want to. The original 78 version, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. The original is founded on strictly paranoia. When the sequel came out, makeup work and effects in general had greatly improved, allowing them to use terrifying imagery and the paranoia it was founded on. Plus, the ending of the remake is just miles better. I have seen both of them.
Oh, nice.
That's the difference between that and The Fly. I think that there's a bigger gap between Invasion of the Body Snatchers original and the remake.
Right.
Versus The Fly and the other Fly.
Well, you know, there's actually 3 remakes of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Because there's the original, the one with, then the 78 version with Donald... What's his name?
Donald
Sutherland. And then there's another one that was made in the 90s, and then there was one in 2007 with Daniel Craig.
I haven't seen any of that bullshit.
Yeah, I heard it was not garbage. Great, but yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right.
Cool.
Mine is number 5, only because I haven't seen the original, but I felt like I have to put it on here because it's one of my favorite films of all time. That's The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
1939 version that Victor Fleming directed, starring Judy Garland. Victor Fleming, by the way, is a beast. You know he did Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind back to back? That's insane.
Fuck.
2 masterpieces back to back.
Holy shit.
I actually didn't know that until recently. I didn't even know. Yeah, it's crazy.
I should have included that on my list.
Yeah, it's a remake. Again, it's an adaptation of the story, but there was a 1925 silent film directed by Larry Seaman, who directed The Wizard of Oz. It was a silent film. Then Victor Fleming made the 1939 version, which we're all, made aware of.
Yeah.
Yes. So, there's also, and I'm just looking at it here because I wanted to get the dates right. Did you know that there's actually a 1982 Japanese anime feature film of Wizard of Oz?
No.
Being dead serious. It's right here. I'm like, wow, okay. Yeah.
Where we at? Oh, shit.
Yeah. Look at that.
That's cool.
Yeah. So,
all right.
So, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Whoa.
That's my Karen Gillan impression, I guess. She's
nice.
Irish, right? Yeah.
Somewhat. Yeah.
Yeah, so Wizard of Oz, my number 5. I love that film, dude.
I'm putting that on my honorable
So
mentions.
good. I'm going to remake it one day.
Oh boy, please don't.
And then, you know what? What happens is when I remake it...
What are you doing with Kuroko? Oh my god! That's my boy!
What, do you want him?
Oh,
yeah!
You're defiling my fucking... what do you even call this thing?
I don't know. Plushie?
Plushie.
Yeah.
Domo. I love Kuroko.
You know what's going to happen when I remake Wizard of Oz, Tyler?
What?
2 weirdos are going to start a podcast, and one day they're going to do a list of their top 5 remakes, and my Wizard of Oz is going to be on their list.
And then a tornado comes, and during the middle of it, and then they become separated.
Yeah.
And one of them has a house fall on them.
Yeah. Like the Wicked Witch of the East.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It'll be cool.
He's got red Jordans.
My number 4.
We red Jordans.
My number 4 is A Star is Born 1954. Such a major improvement from the original. There was musical numbers, flashy colors, better acting, and the dialogue. Getting you to the emotional beats had me more engaged and connected me with the characters a little further. I don't always fault a movie for doing the same thing. I just ask that if they're gonna do that, they better improve on the things that the original did. Man,
Judy Garland, this is just her episode. Yeah. Mentioned her trailer, then we mentioned Wizard of Oz, and then Star is Born.
Yep.
Dang, she's really... Yeah.
She's hot right now.
She's hot right now, baby. I mean, she is beautiful. Magnificent Seven was my number 4.
Yeah.
Based off of Seven Samurai, which you haven't seen.
Which I have not seen.
And I have not seen
my
either.
Number 1.
So, it's all good. That's why it's number 4. Magnificent Seven, fantastic, though. I love it. Steve McQueen. Freaking Yul Brynner. Down. Always. Charles Bronson.
Dude, the boy.
Dude, the boy.
They're all the boys.
And this is kind of what I think a remake should be as well. And I know nothing against remakes that want to pay more tribute to the original, but I always kind of like the remakes that take the original source material or the original movie and kind of just add their own little spin to it. Which, by the way, I just thought of something. I'm gonna retroactively add an honorable mention and say Disturbia. I think they did the same thing. They took Rear Window and kind of did something different with it. You know? Mm-hmm. And that's what I like remakes to do. I like them to take it and do something different. And that's what Magnificent Seven did. They turned a samurai film into a Western. And I think that's dope.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I should have switched my number 4 and my number 3.
You can do it right now if you want.
Because, like...
It's not set in stone until you say it.
This is the thing, is, like... Most people would not disagree, but because of the way that I watched them, like, it's let me in.
Okay.
I personally really like the.
It got good reviews.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking Matt Reeves, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's just like if I would have watched them in a different order, it might have been a different story.
Right.
This release is nowadays the kind of thing I hate when a popular foreign film doesn't get enough traction from American audiences, so they remake it just a couple years later. When it came out and before I'd seen the original, I didn't think that way. Matt Reeves did a solid job with the remake. He changed the tone a bit to give it a more coming-of-age vibe. He showed scenes that emphasized the boys' sexual awakening and brightened the romance between them. Even now, I still think this wasn't a bad decision to remake.
All right.
I'm sticking to my guns on that one.
Nice.
It's a good movie.
Sweet.
Really good movie.
By the way, for some reason, when you mentioned that movie, another remake came to my mind, which now I'm going to also add on my honorable mentions. Shit. And that's David Fincher's Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. It's a great film. Great. But I haven't seen the original, so. My number 3, Ocean's 11.
Okay.
Fantastic, dude.
I knew you were going to bring it back up because you're like...
Yeah, dude. It's absolutely fantastic. This is the quintessential heist film. I've seen a lot of heist films since Ocean's 11, and none of them touch this one. Not even its sequels, and not even the original, which, by the way, I have seen, but I haven't seen. It's complicated. I've seen someone kind of do a commentary throughout the whole thing, but I didn't like actually watch it.
Oh, so you didn't hear the dialogue? You just heard somebody else talking over it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I sort of saw it, but didn't. But the person doing the commentary did not like the original. Like, they actually hate the original, and that's kind of what they were talking about. Again, I'm not saying I hate the original because I haven't seen it like fully. But I can already tell that Ocean's 11, the remake, is so much better, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, every time I see it, because they still play it on AMC sometimes, I'm always on the edge of my seat. I always have that anxiety with the heist. I always am, like, dumbfounded over how they pulled it off. It is the quintessential heist film. It's amazing. And I don't think a heist film since then has really topped it, you know?
There's a ton of, like, heist movies that I want to see. That I need to get to, like Rafifi. I really want to see
Is that the one
that.
with the sound?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that came out before.
Yeah, after this, you might be right. I don't know. I'd have to like go through heist movie stuff. You know, he did. I thought Logan Lucky.
I didn't see that.
I thought that was pretty solid.
It's the same director.
Yeah,
Steven
that's why I bring it
Soderbergh.
up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was pretty decent. Definitely a different type of
heist.
Yeah, definitely not flashy whatsoever.
No,
it's kind of like your like backyard group of people.
I love the style of Ocean's 11 though too. It's so good. It's so good. Just the style and like the suave, like it's so cool.
No, it's definitely cool.
It's so flashy.
Definitely wasn't a lot of those coming out nowadays.
No.
So.
Well, Ocean's 8 came out.
Yeah, that's not really the same thing.
No.
Yeah. So that's your number 3?
It's number 3. Yep.
Number 2, you knew it was gonna be on here. It's A Fistful of Dollars. Kurosawa wasn't joking when he said it was the same movie. Take away the guns and replace them with katanas. Change the landscape just slightly, and you have the same movie beat for beat.
Mm-hmm.
Both function for good reason though. Because you can really see the similarities between warring factions and the damage that they did to their community. The notion of anarchy in the West was the same in Japan. Just like the best swordsman in the land, the quickest gun in the West was the one who ruled all. I think both movies are great, and actually, I have them dead like the same score.
Really?
Same score. Literally wouldn't say one is better than the other. I like them both the same.
Damn, son, that's a good remake right there.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's funny because that was your number 3 or 2. Sorry.
That was my number 2.
Oh, well, my number 2 is also a Western. But it flip-flopped, man. It really did. This was my number 1 for a long time. But I had to go and say, which one made me just feel more emotion? Which one made me feel better? Which one do I have much more of an emotional attachment to? And then that's what knocked it down to number 2.
Fuck me. I just thought of another... Keep going. I just thought of another one after this.
So that's why I had to boost this down to number 2, because I didn't feel that as much as number 1. Number 2, True Grit. True Grit is an amazing Western. It definitely took the original, which was kind of like more like Ride into the Sunset kind of Western. It definitely ends with that as well. As a matter of fact, there was a sequel to True Grit called Rooster Cogburn. Mm-hmm. And I think Scarlett O'Hara was in that one. And... But the remake by the Coen brothers really kind of takes the source material and, you know, the original. It does pay respects to it, but really grounds it into what the real Wild West was really like. You know, it's not flashy. It's not gun twirly. You know, it's not kind of like your typical Saturday morning cartoon type of Western.
Yeah.
You know, it's not your serialized Western. This is a very real kind of gritty, slow burn Western, and I really love that. I love the style. The cinematography by Roger Deakins is fantastic. It's
always good.
And Jeff Bridges gives an amazing performance. Haley Steinfeld in her debut.
So good.
So good, dude. She was nominated for Best Supporting Actress, and she deserves it because she's a fantastic actress. I know Matt Damon gets a lot of hate for this role. I don't know why. I thought he did a really good job, and he took it in a really different direction than the original actor. I'm blanking on his name, and I feel really bad about it. I kind of want to look it up just because I feel like I got to give this guy his due. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be that one dude. Glenn Campbell, that's who it was.
Oh, Glenn Campbell.
Yeah, he was a country western singer as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as LaBeef, I think Matt Damon does a great job as well, you know, personally, just saying. But yeah, the Coen brothers did a good job. Henry Hathaway also did a great job with the original, but I mean, that remake is so good, dude. It's so good. And the dialogue, it's almost Quentin Tarantino level, dude. It's that good.
Yeah, I need to rewatch
Except the Coen brothers don't focus for 20 minutes on nailing a door to the wall.
Are you really gonna talk shit about that? You're really gonna talk shit about that?
I hated that scene, dude.
Really?
I'm gonna be real. I remember I was in the theater watching it, and I like The Hateful Eight. I do. I remember, though, I was sitting there, and after, like, 10 minutes of them nailing this door and them screaming about this door, I was like, move on! Oh, my God! It's still going on!
I loved it, personally. They showed it twice.
It's too much, though, dude.
When they do the what happened in the past or whatever, they showed it again. It's like, oh, shit.
It was so long. It lasted so long. And I bet you it's even longer in the extended version.
No, it's not. It's really
really?
not. No.
Because I'm like, look.
So you think that's what they were going to tack on to the movie? They're like,
Yeah,
oh, we're just going to make the shitty scenes longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. It was a good version. It was good. I like it.
Don't get me wrong. I love The Hateful Eight. I do. And I'm not a huge Tarantino fan, but I really like Tarantino. And I don't mean to talk shit, but I do remember
that scene.
Where
I totally forgot about it.
I was like, move on. We're still doing this.
What?
Like,
oh shit. So would you consider Django to be a remake?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would have tacked that on.
Yeah.
I've seen both of them too.
Nice.
So.
The original Django is in Django.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's great. Great scene. The D is silent.
I know.
Mm-hmm. It's obviously my number one is it's The Thing.
Nice.
The original was called The Thing from Another World. I haven't seen it, but it kind of got lost in translation with other sci-fi horrors like Body Snatchers or The Day the Earth Stood Still, kind of eclipsing it. Mm-hmm. Which I've seen the Day the Earth Stood Still. That version is actually when we were talking about like movies that kind of hold up for sci-fi back then. That movie is actually decent.
Day the Earth Stood Still?
Yeah, the original, but fuck that Keanu Reeves version. It was fucking dog shit.
Was it?
Yeah. I mean, like, my favorite, besides Blade Runner 2049, my favorite sci-fi movie is Metropolis, and that came out in 1927.
Right.
So anyway, still this remake is nothing like the original. And 30 years prior, they couldn't pull off the makeup that this one did. Not a single film that I've seen could compete with the nightmare fuel found in these practical effects. As a cult film, as a mystery film, and as a horror film, The Thing is tremendous.
Nice.
We've definitely talked about that movie before.
Oh yeah. By the way, I kind of feel bad for just shitting on Quentin Tarantino just out of nowhere, but
no, you're good.
But I didn't shit on him. I like him. Okay, stop going in. All right.
Your number one.
My number one is the film that I just have an emotional attachment to. I have an emotional attachment to the original and the remake. Very much so. Okay, and that is Johnny Favreau's The Jungle Book.
Okay.
The 2016 remake. I have a poster of it in my wall. I love this film. It takes the original and I don't want to say grounds it. That's not the right word, but it does do something different. It does have a darker element to it. There are some darker sections of that film that are not present in the original Disney version, and I'm glad that they kind of toned down the music side of it. Although I will say The Jungle Book is one exception where I do like the music of those early Disney films. This one, they acknowledge the songs and pay tribute to them and pay tribute to the original without it seeming forced.
Yeah. Symphonic version.
Yes, symphonic. And I just love it. The visual effects, dude, are fantastic. They're photorealistic, and the new Lion King looks like it's even going to be more realistic, which is crazy. Johnny Fav is great, and I love the kid who played Mowgli. I thought he captured the spirit of the original very well. And I just love The Jungle Book, dude. I love it. It's so good. Johnny Fav, baby.
Johnny Fav. I actually had no clue what you were going to say.
Yeah, dude. Again, it was my number two because I feel like True Grit might be just a better movie, I guess, if I had to compare. But I have that attachment to the Jungle Book, dude. I love it.
And it came for a surprise, and I literally had no clue. So dude, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.